Hey everyone, welcome back to Barcast TV and to the round of 16 results. I'm joined once again by LSR. Welcome back to the channel, man.
Hello, guys. Hello, broadcast. It's nice being here, seeing some games, seeing some groups. Sadly, didn't get to cast them, but we have a big BPL season coming up, so I'm happy to, get into the scores. And there's been some interesting results, I think. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, definitely some interesting results.
Oh,
I think most notably, Teddy eliminated in Group A. So, right
yeah,
off the bat, that kind of stands out to me.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned to you, that swap for Yudi was pretty interesting. He said he wanted to start hard and practice. I thought he was a little bit, crazy with picking that, but it is what it is. I did think, and yeah, a little bit sad for the Stardom as well, not qualifying. Feeling the FAF guys are completely getting out of the, I would say even death group, right? That was the death group.
Yeah, Group A for sure. I'd say was the group of death. Um,
Yeah,
like noticeably too, I think Taku being eliminated. He's so we had two or three round of eight players from last season kind of being relegated to the qualifiers of the next season, right? So got some new blood here in the round of eight. Noticeably Vader.
Vader, yeah, looks like he had some good games. Definitely. I hope somebody cast that guy to see how he managed to get in. And yeah,
Yeah, he took down Taku in the round three.
that's a
So
solid achievement. Yeah. I think beating Ptaku means that, yeah, you're ready for it. Kupi Ragnar, yeah, sadly don't see Lopatka advancing. And yeah, but it looks like he take a game away. Yeah, Xerxes squeezing into top 16 like I did in one of the 1v1 events. So always good. And yeah, to no surprise, Bloody advancing. And X Factor, I think, is a little bit interesting. I think both of the Modulo and Vojero does have chances if they're active enough. So yeah,
it,
must have been pretty tough for X Factor to get in, but he's in, so
he actually lost to Modulo in the first round and then beat him in round three. So kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah. That's the big kind of upset. Pretty sad for Medulla right there.
yeah, really strong showing from all the players. Like some of the scores don't tell the whole story, right? So well, like Stardom played some crazy series versus Teddy Angelo, right?
Yeah, yeah. I heard those games were kind of close. At least saw one of them.
Vader taking took a game off Andy, right? You wouldn't know that looking at this
Oh,
score. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
well,
yeah. I guess we. Uh,
yeah, it's going to be wild though. We've seeded the round of eight. I wonder if I can bring that up on screen real fast. Just my rudimentary skills at presentation here, but we have these are our round of eight matches. So Yudi versus Ragna, Andy versus X Factor, Zlo versus Goopy, and Vader versus Blow Deer. So some
oh, oh, interesting names. But yeah, let's if we glide over. I think we're gonna make a challenge bracket with predictions. I think for you guys, I think this is a good idea for the team. So everybody could go into challenge and make their predictions early for these. And UD Ragnar is a rematch that I see already, which Ragnar lost. I think one of the 1v1 events. So will the FAF guy emerge victorious, or
that's
Ragnar has something up in his sleeve? I think Ragnar didn't expand that one game. I remember that clearly, and he just kept trying to do it with Janus and
the
Red
Janus
Tom.
rush on a Cetus
Yeah,
crack. Yeah, that was
yeah,
from last
trying to
season.
just push. Yeah, and the X Factor. Well, I think predictions go on Randy. Maybe X Factor thinks something, but I think it depends on the map pools and I get some picks and bans, and but I guess we can talk about this in the tournament later on. Zlo versus Goopy is interesting. I think either one of them can do this, especially with Zlo squeezing in, and Vader versus Blodir. I think Blodir is on fire, so
Blow
I
Deer,
think Vader's gonna get picked apart like well, He's been really on the throne. Might be a really strong contender. I would say even maybe goes for champion. But you never know. He's hasn't done in 1v1, so depends what other players have prepared versus him as well.
It's gonna be some pretty intense matches for sure. Like Zlo versus Goopy, that should be just a crazy match if it goes to game three. Hopefully, some of the other matches go to game three. I could see Andy X Factor going to game three, UD Ragna. So that
Yeah,
just tells me the matches are pretty well balanced or fairly competitive, right?
for sure, for sure.
Super
Yeah,
excited. So that's gonna be this Saturday, right? LSR, you're gonna be our wonderful observer
yeah. I'm gonna make sure
slash host.
everything's cooking and you guys are all right.
That's
And
right, the fact checker
gonna
here on
be
stream.
watching the mini map really closely for you all.
That sounds wild. So that is, I think, enough for the predictions and kind of reactions to the round of 16.
Yep, let's get into the game.
Yeah, so here we are. We're going to be showing off a match from Group A. This is the second round, Teddy versus Low. So the winners round, excuse me, losers round. They both lost their first match. So Teddy lost to Stardom in the first round, and Zlo
Oh,
lost
this
to
is
Jasada.
losers. This is the
Yeah.
third match in the group. Okay. Yeah.
So the loser here gets eliminated. The winner goes to the
Oh,
next round. So that's what we're.
oh, so this is gonna be interesting.
I'm not sure exactly about their bans and picks, but for sure, game one is going to be played on Onyx Cauldron. Have you looked at this map before?
Oh no, no. I've seen I think one bloody replay versus Randy on this map. That's all my knowledge.
Pretty interesting terrain. The game slows down pretty quickly, just because it's kind of small, it seems. But I
You
would
have
like
to
to
be
learn.
controlling these far mixes there. I see this cluster is really important. There's like three mixes, and you have also similar cluster to the north.
Yeah,
With
Geo's in
mid
both
being
spots, right?
kind of choky and not really worth, in my opinion. So it's about how you split these two armies and how you seek to like protect one side and push forwards. Interesting, interesting. And strong Resbot map it looks like. Curious to not see so a quick mix move out. What are the starting mixes? Is it 2? Is it 1.8?
Yeah, it's 2.1.
Oh, that's pretty rich.
And there's a decent, like, these crystals have some metal in them too. So there's
Yeah,
some in
I
the main
like
base.
Terry's build for sure, opening with the Resbot instead of the quick mixes. And he decides to rush the. Oh, the wind is extremely high, so I like steady strategies. I'm a big, I think Teddy number one, even though you know.
Yeah, Teddy number one, right?
Sadly, the end result. Big fan of this. Like for me, his builds just generally make sense. And yeah,
I study Teddy replays myself. So if you're ever looking to
yeah.
improve on, like, I mean, any of these guys are worth studying, to be frank, and you'll be able to
Yeah.
download these replays if you're so inclined.
Wenslaw is I like because I like Teddy's defensive macro. You know, LLTs. I feel it's the like. I wish it was the way to play bar.
That defensive, like, macro style, just putting up LOTs at choke points and
Yeah, and moving out with the commander, everything looks good. Like, for example, Law thing. I mean, he's not pumping the grunts, but I think it's generally much better for the, healthier. I don't know, healthier for the, maybe it's my pure bias, but I love, like, LLTs everywhere, like mixes, like these slow walkouts with the commander, uh, instead of,
late. Lately, I've been favoring staying in the main base and just using the build power to get out more
yeah.
grunts, but I,
Yeah, and then you kill with the grunts, and you just basically have no LLTs, you just, make grunts and only defend with the grunts and
yeah,
make
yeah.
like mono spamming. I don't think it's healthy for the game, so that's why I like Teddy's style. I wish the game was would reward his play style. And yeah,
Yeah, this is great. Look at this map vision. Really strong here.
yeah. It's running a little bit of this thing. It depends how it's losing radars actually is really damaging if your commander's not out on the field where you want to go, because it takes like your valuable constructor time on the front.
Right, right. You see, he's able to get up these like radar and LLT here on this island, so it's going to be
Yeah.
continued expanding. Here's an exploiter going up here on the right side, a little scuffle in the middle.
Teddy's setting defensive. That I like this. How he pushes to the middle, and I think it's better. I think technically it should be Teddy favored. I hope the Teddy just doesn't die to like a snipe. That would be a little bit sad. I
Second
like
bot lab.
this. Yeah, second lab. I like this. You can have a tug push off this. I mean, I like. I really think this is how I think playing game is nice. He's still staying in the base, right?
Yeah, he's just continuing to assist it. Look at this build queue. 3 thugs, 1 resbot on repeat.
Doesn't have really much deep defense. Zlow's been just pumping non-stop. Grunts all the time and nothing else. Good engagement for Teddy.
Like this radar and LLT on the high ground.
Yeah, lacks one resbot patrolling in this area. Looks like he'll have to run it like long way from his base.
Yeah, he just lost his resbot up here. I think he
Oh,
kind of
that's
lost it in a
unlucky, yeah.
scuffle. Zlow's done a good job of like producing him. He's already got, I see 5, 6 out on the map.
Now that I'm thinking of thugs, maybe do they outrange the? They don't outrange exactly the metal exploiter for sure, since probably need.
Yeah, 380 to 435. But thugs have a really nice range.
They could get easily surrounded, and that really like hurts to lose them if you don't have sustain. How are we looking on the metal income? I don't think anybody of them reclaimed lab. Oh, Teddy's managed to get up with, pushing out with the commander. Able to produce more tugs and resbots.
He hasn't really capitalized on this position. He's got the forward factory here, but these 3 mexes have yet to be capped, and like putting an LLT and a radar up here, I think would
He
kind
will
of.
get. I mean, if he was able to at least have one grunt on that side, he would intercept and shoo away that con. But that being said, he's expanding into the one cluster, and Zlaw gets the other north, right? So Zlaw gets this cluster. But if you look at it, it looks pretty like undefended. But Zlaw is centering his army around in the middle.
It's a big arc here in the middle. It's a nice trade.
It looks like Zlo is so distracted with the bottom that his automatic rally of just never-ending grunts is able to push Teddy back, and
Look at this repair micro. Oh my gosh.
yeah, Resbot is so good with the exploiter.
I think this is just going to snowball out of control. I mean, he has 4 resbots already there.
There's no really need, like, thugs will be so slow that there's no way you can stop them. This decide to send some army to prevent further breakthroughs, so... And yeah, Teddy also has resbots of his own, but... making that little LLT island on the side. Thugs are not that fast killing like grunts, and if you can make too much grunts, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just run around them. You can't defend everywhere at once with them.
Yeah, and you need like a really good LLT, a self-D to stop the group. As long as no slouch with resurrecting as
So
well.
much value, yeah. 9, 10 resbots are in this area now.
Yeah.
Maybe there was an opportunity here for Teddy to like be really aggressive with the commander and like these thugs he already made. I mean, this is 13 thugs. I mean, he could have at least maybe forced him to pull back some of his army. See that happening now, but I think Zlo is just maybe looking for the kill at this point. What is this? 40 grunts.
I could see some valuable transitions, maybe. Like, maybe if he went vehicle lab from that position. I think people nowadays try to mix in shurikens. I think even Teddy likes to have these shurikens. sometimes
Yeah,
pretty
he's got
early. Yeah,
20
it's
queued
10
up.
minutes. But I think we definitely see a lot of these base commander mixed with just the just the grunts into really fast shurikens in order to go, and then you try to go for their wind. I think that style is what I would prefer to play as well.
I love forcing your opponent's hand like with these air units. Like you can surprise and get one great fantastic trade most of the time, and then the rest of the
Yeah,
game you just kind of forcing them to respect the air play.
yeah. On this map, I think. So, how our players have been managing their energy? Have they accessed a lot? So that's like 10% access, and then he has accessed a little less. Actually, has some of the energy conversion. So sometimes in these like 1 to 29 maps, it's like you could actually stay in the base and just be greedy just with the metal converters. Like depends on how much the outer mix really is, but like depending on your
Yeah.
strategy, you might go for one side really hard and maybe just held a big thing.
This is a great trade for Teddy. Look at this. I mean, he kind of winning this fight. He caught a lot of these res bots. Is he gonna kill the army though? I don't think. I think there's too
No,
much repair
sadly
here.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when the thugs get caught off the position, yeah, the thugs are. I think it's a little bit too much work for the poor thugs. And the opponent's always, and I like if opponent is ahead, he can make his counter thugs as well by the looks of it.
These res bots got so much value. Now they're moving to just reclaiming what they can.
Yeah, that's what happened. He got cut off with like a one trade, and not enough apparently like deep defense to actually stop the grunts.
Finally swings his fight on the left side, but I really think it was a bit of a blunder, like moving these thugs in the middle of the map unsupported from the commander. Because with the repair micro and some control, you can get a lot of work done with 13 thugs.
No.
This is random LLT 10 resurrected. I think that's what happened here.
That's pretty good. You can see it's clearly distracting. I hate rallying this. I always like sometimes I reset the rally point because I like to move rally point around, and it also sometimes come in these predicaments.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
like it's not only you have to change the rally point, you have to change the units as well, which are running. So and yeah, in the heat of the moment, it's actually really frustrating to have that happen. And this island, LLT island maker is like fortified that little position
Yeah,
completely.
you're not pushing that. One thing I noticed about this expansion in the top right is it's if you can get it porked up a little bit, it can be so hard moving army all the way up to that side of the map
Yeah,
too.
and it's so under the way.
Much a little bit different than the bottom left because like you can make a land factory here in your main and just kind of quickly move into this side. It seems like it takes a little longer to traverse this terrain here on the top mid side, and Teddy's got some bombers out.
Yeah, I mean, bombing wind is a good option. That's a super condition on this map. As long as the wind pretty far, and yeah, I think holding with thugs would make a little bit more sense, or pounders in this case, if you're actually going for like the wind victory. But yeah, but you also have to exert pressure on the side clusters. Already in the position, yeah. Yeah, to be fair, the mountains might provide a little bit of radar protection. I wish there was like, you know, a little bit of down mountains on that side, so that way, you know, if you don't build the radar absolutely on the hills somewhere, then you can't really see that the bombers are approaching, and it's
That
like you
was
have to make all this wind, but bombers can just traverse.
That's good. I didn't quite notice there. You can come off of that mountain and fly around a lot of the AA, or it's not like you're flying up onto the
Yeah,
main.
yeah, I've seen this in other games, like where the bombers are important, like really similar setups where you just go kind of really around the map, like really far. I think it's cool map design. It always has that sense. That's why I wish like it would be even maybe more less visible, but you know, makes the game a volatile.
Teddy's finally moved into his own vehicle plant, but Zlow's got quite a few medium tanks moving to this front line here.
Yeah, this I love a little bit better with the gators, but is it too late already? Zlo has his own vehicles and been pumping even stronger tanks, so... Income-wise, I think Teddy is still leading. I think if you really convert his energy, is pretty good. Like, Teddy is so rich.
Yes, 6k mass. That's a lot.
Yeah, he was able to hold one cluster, and they split the clusters, so actually it's going into the energy. Why is Teddy... Oh my god, Teddy has so much metal. He's making metal storage. Yeah, he should be
2,000
doing...
metal. He
He's
should.
completely fine position right here.
Yeah, he's not
Still doesn't...
not under any kind of threat. I mean, he just needs to spend this metal, right? Making medium tanks.
It doesn't look like enemy only has a couple of AA bots by the looks of it, or no? Yeah, a couple of AA bots, like 3. And so shurikens are still good. Oh, but moves out of the position? Is it slow times to go through metal and maybe retreat, or even go for Teddy himself? I doubt he knows though.
T2
Oh,
transition.
this is a big risk. This is a big risk, but I think Teddy doesn't maybe... that's still like a greedy risk. If I saw all those pumpies, I would be a little bit scared. I would try to, you know, have something.
He's got a decent standing army, and I don't think Zlo can really counter push here. I'm not sure why Teddy is being aggressive here. Maybe just trying to distract and bide time.
Yeah, but now he needs to strike in the middle, right? If you do this one move, you should like at least have like one raid group in the middle, even though Zlo has defense. Yeah, because that would actually kill at least that radar position. It would kill those mixes and a couple more positions, but fight is still hyper focused here.
2 cons first coming out of that vehicle plant. Held on to the bot lab, no, like not pausing production at all, even to get this T2 lab up more quickly. This is a scary little army here. That's a lot of brutes.
Yeah, that was I was worried before, like you said, that he could help, but I don't think he can. I guess, especially with the... But Slow, he needs his time to actually boot up, you know, he has to pull his res bots. He likes good trades for sure. And, you
Spent a
know...
lot of time resing these units in the middle from that previous fight. I mean, he could push bottom left here with this little thug group. Still threatening on the right side. Has so many medium tanks.
It's interesting that he didn't go for air after getting the bombed. So I guess then he just decides to go. Yeah, T2. But
I don't think this is enough enough material here for Teddy. That's just so many tanks. He's got 2
yeah,
tigers out already.
it is pretty interesting. I wish they would have seen like maybe like an energy storage from Teddy, and maybe you can position your commander a little bit closer. Maybe try to go for cheeky D-guns to offset the things, because there's no way there's radar. But yeah, at least use it for build power now. The wall has been creeping like metal extractor wise, but only this is the big fight. Yeah, and no shurikens just yet. It doesn't look like Zlo had much of the AA bots.
That army just evaporated, getting kited back there. And look at look what's left over here. So many medium tanks. 25 tanks versus 4 tigers. How is he gonna hold on here in the next couple of minutes?
I think it doesn't matter. Zlo could technically eat all the reclaim, and he would be in a decent shape.
For sure,
Because like
yeah.
he's just like you push with losses. I love that game style. I mean, I've talked with you, right? I love the double tank lab. It's just so good. You can spend up to hundreds of metal per second, and just who cares if you like not trading good? All you need is just push the enemy off the reclaim, and then just get reclaim. If especially if you have built a resbot stack, so that's how Zlo actually trades. You know, long term. Stardom called a macro god. I think this is for that reason, because you feel as there's so many units. Utilizes some mines, always nice to see that as well.
Yeah, this push is pretty scary.
It doesn't even matter that he's not trading. That he's just not dealing enough critical damage, and
Yeah, the tanks have too much HP. Gonna
yeah.
get some D guns off maybe? Oh, he was standing in front of that con turret. He couldn't step
Oh,
forward.
that's unlucky. Yeah, that's what I wished. If Teddy was more to the side, he could have a cloak, and all these units doesn't have radar. But yeah, I guess you need to find it with the choke. But I don't think Teddy realized that it's not that great. And yeah, even now Zlo could still go off with all of his army in a rush and just reclaim all of the metal.
Oh, some units found their way into the main base. Single grunt is found back behind there.
Oh no! And the shurikens are busy doing not that much, and yeah, Zlo is collapsing. Isn't even interesting in any other positions. Just the north cluster apparently was the hardest for him.
I feel like this is kind of leaning towards Teddy favorite here at the moment. I mean, he's building up these Tiger tanks. He's up
Oh,
to 7 now. But he's kind of out of position here. I think,
out of position, completely split off. Like, and there is some shurikens for defense and like 6 LLTs, so like even 30 grams wouldn't do much, but can't really stop anything.
and he's running out of money. He's kind of stalling here at the moment. He ate his
Yeah,
own bot lab. He's losing his peripheral mexes here to just a few grunts.
that's
Those,
so that's what I like. I would nerf these. You cannot chase these down. He needs to kill these res bots. These res bots are like really killing him. It's not actually the units. I think if you go to the damage, I think that he's been doing fine damage, right? Well, not really, but not fully, but it's just like rezzing in the front of him. Like, he needs to
yeah, you
chase
can't even
down that
stop it. You're
cloud.
just looking at what's killing you.
I
Can't.
think you need to bomb them. I think if you add the shurikens, you need bombers to kill them. Like,
Yeah, he's got 11 anti-air bots. 11.
he's he's just like he's dealing so much damage, but like the res bots are just being able to. I don't know, like he already feels the need to go for the thing when that's just the I think game. Lord just realized that he can make a whole army.
There's just
Could have
not enough
eaten
build
more.
power. Not enough build power next to this factory. So suddenly the reclaim field is in front of Teddy's commander. But what does it matter when you have this huge T1 army that's
Yeah, I
about to?
think losing wind will be massive. And tries to fight. Yeah, if only there was something that really would stop this army. Maybe I don't know, some flamethrowers, some walls even. Imagine you cannot drive over and you have no res. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
with res bots you could make a wall, but yeah. That's gonna be all of the eco killed, sadly, and yeah, since he has to go back to his own base, which is back, it's not like he can actually counterattack, and Zlo is gonna be able to raise a completely new army with all of his gains at the other side of the map, and just gonna rampage to other side, opening the front. So yeah,
The
yeah.
Tigers eventually clean up all these tanks, but you've
Yeah,
lost your
those
main
tanks
base.
looked scary at the north, and it proved that like slowly and with response, they didn't turn to be the stronger army than going T2.
A T2 transition, yeah. And like Teddy had the eco advantage there. I mean, he had the energy converters for
I
most of the
think with the
game.
Tsar early, I think if you open with the big tank, I like to open on the big tank on maps like Cold Place. I think even Teddy does that as well. I think if you open that, then the army isn't as scary, right?
Yeah,
You still need some punch in your army, like something to defend. But yeah. What do you think about the Tigers? I think I'd rather have Tsar because then at least enemy can't really punch that hard up.
it's tough. I don't think he even went con first, but I do like making the Czar because you can start
Yeah.
really evaporating those T1 units. Like,
Yeah, and once you transition T2, maybe he could walk with Calm, and Calm is like D-Guns is pretty scary, right? And then Tsar is pretty scary, and make his own Resbots and add Shurikens to that. And then you try to, from far range to maybe kill the AA bots, and then you can always use your Shurikens while the Tsar is firing. And with the commander, you should be able to hold all of that instead of just the Tigers and using his build power. But yeah, I think he just didn't see this win condition for Zlo and got you know slowly, really slowly but surely cut off from the main position. Interesting match, and sure.
That was a lot of back and forth there in mid on the right side. Those grunt battles with the res bots. It kind of the game was swinging back and forth. It seemed a couple times.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And Teddy was on the back foot, I think, after losing that first Gwent initial army almost. Yeah, that actually made me think. I was like, I was really sure I was gonna make fight command to my mouse because I saw all this Teddy all the time. There's like fight moving, but this made me think. He was fight moving his grunts, and he didn't realize that they were just dying. I guess if you run them through, they die as well. Maybe fight move still gives you more option. Oh, and here was my request in seeing how the modern players play Paradise Lost.
modern players.
The modern players. No, with the modern, what I meant was I was really curious.
The balance
I
change, I
think
guess, right?
Sheep said with like the engine changes, it was actually affecting this map with you can now take most of the like land mixes apparently with the console. Actually, I
Yeah,
have
yeah. I
to
think
check
this one here you couldn't
how
quite
much
grab.
players would study because apparently Sheep did some check for 2v2 maps. So I'm curious how these players adapt. And
Teddy, I can see, is kind of debating on where to start. He was in the water there. Now he's on the
yeah.
edge.
No, I think this is fine. I think it's still a little bit imbalanced. I think I cried even a little bit last game, but players decided it was okay. Zlo actually starting, very unusual spot.
No, this is
Uh,
standard, right? You got the four mechs, and then like the you don't have to walk very far to make this
true,
shipyard even. So
true,
like,
true. You can make it faster as well since the distance from the buildings. You cannot assist some of the labs, but yeah, for the shipyard, I think for the ship lab, that's also engine changes, right? That's what we discussed with the mech. So you can place mexes a little bit. You only have to touch the border.
right?
I still I still see a lot of players still going for the center when they make their recycle. I don't know, some streamers. So
It's
it's interesting.
yeah, that's pretty low hanging fruit, I'd say, to like improve just abusing the build range of the commander, right?
Yeah.
But this is Paradise Lost, so hopefully we can see more matches in the round of 8. I think we'll see one more game on it, but I personally enjoy playing on this. I like watching the matches on this map, and I don't know how do you like this as a pick or as a map in the pool?
Uh, I think it's fine. Yeah, Paradise Lost weather maps. Woo! I mean, we didn't see it last time, at least, or it was it for Ragnar maybe that we didn't see a single game.
Oh, I guess Ragnar was specking this game.
Cool, cool. Might have cool comments as well. Bloodier's right there as well.
Hmm.
All right, maybe you can do shift space, see what they're building. Oh, so I think that they went for. Usually, I like the order as well if you do shift space. Yeah, so 2 cons and 200. He really wants 100 ships. I mean, boats. I wouldn't call them ships,
Oh,
really.
yeah, supporters, yeah.
Those are definitely boats. I know people call every ship a boat, but these are definitely. And dolphins, what an interesting choice by Zlo.
Yeah, I see it's arm versus core. I didn't notice that till just now, but I heard core is a little favored, just like the sub is stronger. I like supporters a little more than the dolphins.
Yeah, in 1v1 I would agree as well. I can't understand. There was Dolphins used to be even stronger, I
Yeah, they're
think,
it's like a
even before
double
land
blitz.
changes. They would really, really kill everything. But then again, in 1v1, I won my games. I think even versus Teddy is just like I'm just you have more units and you defend, and it's just like you're out there and you just suddenly have like a numbers advantage. But Zlo is actually choosing to. This is gonna be interesting. Like Zlo is just rushing 3 Dolphins straight at the
Yeah,
Teddy.
four.
See what Strix. If he catches one supporter out of the position, that's really good. But no, just say hello.
Teddy sees
Oh,
it, yeah. How is he gonna defend against this?
well, you need like more. Yeah, you want the dolphin guy to be defending with 2, and then you rush in with 3 and somehow take them on. But yeah, if they send 3 to the base, well, you just hope to not lose any wind, I would guess, and not to lose the con. And the con's in danger. So I guess the correct answer was to defend the con. And yeah, but Because they shouldn't really rush for your base, really. That would be really greedy if you know, like, who plays like that just immediately sends 3 dolphins to the base
Yeah,
trying to
you'd
get the titles. Like, it would be pretty crazy, but, rushes happen.
you'd have to know the commander wasn't there, to believe in it. Just
Yeah, like, purely. Without.
this
But gets
is
one con for his trouble,
this is
and did he
great.
get this North one as well, right?
Yeah, that's both cons. Both starting cons went down here, so these.
Yeah, and it's a super big snowball. You have to. Yeah, the landmax was built. Okay. Well, it paid off. Now he can just retreat and scale his own and defend. That's a really good start for Slow. Just
Yeah,
based
two
enough. But,
expanding cons. He's got
well, that's
Corvettes going everywhere.
1v1 for you. Now consolidates his forces. Yeah, then he should look to reclaim the. I mean, it's. You don't lose really the mexes after you lose this hard, right? Because they're
Right, right.
underwater, you have to. There's at least a sum, so there isn't as bad. So as long as you get the medal and maybe kill like a dolphin, the Seacons are pretty fast, but yeah. Oh, was that a? Wasn't a destroyer? That
It
was
sounded
a.
like a torp launcher. Maybe there's like
Could
a
have been
supporter over here.
submarine, yeah. Oh, just took
There it
hit a
is.
few shots, yeah.
Big fight
Interesting.
on the
Looks
right
like
side.
Teddy got first. Should be some medal there. Does look juicy already if you can secure this all, but he didn't get to build back mixes, and we'll spend time with. Oh, this is wanted reclaim like really eat a tree. That's
I
gonna
think
be a little
so.
bit of.
Yeah, kind of a.
That's
Um,
not that optimal as well, I think.
yeah, it's pretty important
No.
to just kind of click on those wrecks individually and maximize the time.
Yeah, it also depends. Like he's full of the metal. Technically, he should build a mix, right? It would be like you need to. There's only so much income you can always get from mixes every time. It's not. Oh no! Owen blocks his own con. That's unlucky. Really, really didn't did more. Maybe the pathfinding was unlucky.
No D gun. Sitting
And yeah,
underwater.
no Deegan War. I mean, you could reclaim this maybe. Go for the reclaim. Num 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 num. Oof.
Another con goes. What was that, 4 so far? Huge damage. At least this
Yeah.
construction turret might finish.
And the last dolphin's like, I'm alone here. He's also going hard, and he's just like rallying troops. I mean, Teddy does have a lot of metal on this side, so, and he's cooking up another counterattack later on in the north. Just heading there.
Oh, the torp launcher just finishes.
Yeah, and
Kind of
still
unfortunate.
no attention to flank
Yeah,
it
yeah,
really
yeah.
quickly. Still no attention because Onslow even gets to run the con away. He notices. Ay, 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 ay. I think if he engages immediately as he sees the blueprint,
Oh,
he's
for
in really
sure.
good position. Oh, and this is even not. Oh,
Is he gonna get
he'll
the
get
con?
conned for
Yeah.
the troubles, but yeah, but still, the mix is like it's not like you could kill mexes, but stopping that and then running more would be great. Maybe he does find one in the middle.
So finally see some riptides coming out here. These frigates can take on the corvettes.
Yeah.
But he's down
Still,
on metal so hard. I mean, he should have at least these 2 bays secured. A couple of radars up.
what is the income looking so far? It's still in the favor of the Teddy without even getting the mixes, but Zlot's been really, really getting like he's pushed so far that he will be able to attack from many, many angles and being able to almost expand free from the middle just because he just has this consistent rally point. And he could go in like a 3, 4 different positions using from those torpedo launchers.
Yeah, and
And
his army's getting chased too, so it kind of feels bad. You can just like pull your opponent apart in some way.
yeah. Yeah, and even gets his northern force away. And Teddy with much less unit count, having frigates, will be consistently like tempted to split. Do I go north or do I go south? While Zlo can choose to maintain his both armies due to the number size somehow, and just basically get almost naked expansions everywhere.
Working on another construction turret. I like to see that. He's got a lot of metal to spend, but wind's dying right now, so he's trying to fix that.
Yeah, I think it was those dolphins that made him go home and, actually protect his lab, even if it's like repairing or some underwater laser. And should have been on an island making wind with the commander. And Zlo does that. Zlo actually has built up a decent wind bank from the commander.
Yeah, Zalo's maxed out on metal right now. Wind is
That's
not doing him any
everybody's
favors.
helping.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was Randy playing, he would already have like 4 A-Solars, I think. Oh, title's pretty. Nelson doesn't feel so good. Still should be pretty.
Looks like Teddy's trying to claw his way back into the game, but wind is not cooperating. Doing a great job by increasing the sophistication of his units. I like his navy now. He's got 3 frigates on the south side. He's got 3 in mid. Still running around with these supporters looking for damage, but Zlo's already capped the mexes, so see that metal
Yeah, and the
differential.
deep defense with like torpedoes isn't deep. No, he has like pretty deep defense here with the 2 torps and North being locked up. He is just happy. And yeah, interesting. We don't see any air transitions to bomb or change the state for the game. So
Yeah, you
we're
might.
just gonna take all the metal. How much is the excess already? The metal. I'm curious. Is it 1,000? Okay, so that's pretty impressive. I mean, if you can't make the metal storage, but doing very well for himself indeed.
Wind's back to cooking now, so he should be able to add on enough construction turrets to spend that metal. But look at all this metal sitting outside of Teddy's base here. It's like 1,000 reclaim.
Yeah, going air as predicted. I mean, if you get a decent shurikens, you might be able to take torpedo positions really easily with just transport.
It's a nice little push here in the mid. He's going to clear out these torpedo launchers, but he still can't deal with the mexes. Except the ones on land here, but it's really not what's
Yeah, you have to try some sub somewhere, right? Looks like from the south like, as well. Like if you would have like a combined arms of shurikens to stun the torpedo launchers, so frigates can just push anywhere they want. I mean, you're not fast, but you can push anywhere you want, and then have a say one sub. You could clear these further positions pretty good because I mean I think getting a sub is still nice if you can clear torpedo launchers because if your opponent gets destroyed in response, it's it's pretty hard. It looks like Slow might be the first one to actually put the sub in the water, but it looks
and
like
some
you.
destroyers. We see one's just about made it to the front line here. So we're gonna be able
Oh,
to
that's big.
clear out the underwater mexes with this.
Yeah, and Teddy's frigate's out of position right now. Could be like a really unsuspecting flank right now coming, at least for the
Yeah, he
destroyer.
can catch a destroyer,
Like
absolutely.
this is Law realizes that maybe the Roy has to go somewhere else, but yeah, Teddy is chasing something there. Probably doesn't want to lose the con for the 5th time. I don't know how much cons Teddy sadly has lost. But here come the shurikens. This could turn the tide a little bit.
Great catch
Get
here,
some
just
zappies.
shutting down this destroyer for free, essentially. There's another one they could potentially catch. I mean, these dolphins can't shoot air, can they?
They are pretty
Oh,
alright. I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
they're bad. They're just like pawns. I mean, it's already has a skater mixed into the queue. I think we saw it even before.
You see this eel underneath the water picking away at these frigates for now, and 2 destroyers are enough to kite this many riptides.
A little bit out of the. Oh, but no, they're so fast. Teddy decides to even doesn't try to deep. Yeah, I guess he's worried about like the. Yeah, he doesn't have a streaming reinforcements there. I mean, maybe if he supported with all of his supports and maybe more shurikens, at least could get some position. But yeah, Zlaw also has realized and has put in some air forces in air as well, just to be
Yeah,
safe
these
versus the shurikens, because he just realizes that he doesn't really have a sub nor a destroyer. He's able to look at these mixes. Look at these mixes of Zlaw. Oh, saw only Teddy clearing the first ones now. No
it's
real
really
control of the north, and yeah, Zlaw has all the time in the world to make more destroyers. I can go for a little supporter attack.
pretty much gonna get cleaned up. See finally some air cons out here for Zlo. He's gonna finish securing these islands in the top left. But Teddy's making a play for middle. I see he's got one con in here. He's got a torp launcher already finished. His navy's pulling out of this area just as Zlo moves in, so how do you deal with these subs though? I mean, now we're up to 2 subs that are just wailing away on these units.
Yeah, well, yeah, you either need 2 cons to hopefully repair some of the damage, or, you know, make a torp, or... Yeah, you have your own Royce. I mean, if your opponent has so much destroyers, then...
That's why I like going for the seaplanes, because it gives you the torpedo gunship, which is super strong in these battles here.
I mean, isn't, like, the uh, Cortex submarine considered much better, same as the frigate?
Yeah, the
These are...
sub is definitely better.
Yeah, so these arm subs should be like a feast to your own subs, right? So I guess that would be the answer.
This is not looking good. I see 3 destroyers here in mid. It's getting kind of sandwiching the army here for Teddy. He's trying to take a fight here in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I see 20 metal difference from Zlo, so Teddy has not dealt with the mixes really hard. His North Force got stopped by like 3 torpedoes, gonna get held up, and you know, like I would say, a little bit desperate tactics from Teddy, trying to move into this north position, but it's not like he's pushing like with any land con behind this, and Zlo still has this open gap where he just pushes. Finally, we do see some subs at the response, but
I think if the game goes on longer, maybe Teddy finds a way to claw his way back into it, but there's just so many more destroyers in the water now, and he's had control of all these mexes just the whole game. Even going so far as taking some of his opponent's mexes. See, Teddy hasn't able to cap his on his side of the map.
some bombers even get through around. Doesn't get much, if anything, from the wind. Has to run back now to kill. It's not like Zlo has also some middle constructors, and Teddy might be able. One thing I would say I like, is that construction con going for the metal sadly gets found by the skater right there, and that shout out to this guy promptly, as I think of it as a pretty good play. If your opponent doesn't have AA, you just like slurp all the metal down.
Yeah, right.
You can like really be really mobile, and mobility is big key in
Yeah,
like
it's
a
big in
triple land
these,
situation.
or again, these, like, on these big sea maps, it can be it can take a long time for your cons to reach these reclaim fields, whereas like aircon can just get there, start sucking up all
Yeah.
that metal underneath the water even. I think the aircons can even cap underwater mexes too, can't they?
Yeah. I think they should. Of course, there's some benefits maybe to like having you could put like a radar on the mountain, and maybe even LLT in the middle of an island where ships can't really see it, but you deny the mexes. Like maybe for the middle island, some you can squeeze on top of the mountain somewhere there. That way, like destroyer almost has to clear it. Yeah, 8,000 ahead. Well, a little bit less than that
It's a
because of
lot.
the
Yeah.
1,000 excess. That's like that's like 8, no, like 10 destroyers.
Yeah, it's all these extra 0
Yeah.
destroyers for Teddy.
Yeah. Huh?
I mean, he really can't push into that. I mean, there's just these missile corvettes holding down the fort, staring down like 10 destros. Zlo's gonna move in.
Yeah, that's a scary, scary force. I mean, I wouldn't even move, and he's just fine chilling there. I would sit there. It has so much metal. Why would you move to your enemy if there's like probably like 5,000 metal? How much it is if you select the con? Does it show you? Oh, it isn't that much, but I would secure all of this if I saw these numbers.
3K metal is
3,000 looks incredibly, especially with the position he's in right now. Oh, oh, that's interesting.
just a
Look at where
dreadnought already
this
finished.
8,000 goes.
Yeah, it's a the T2 battleships.
I don't know. I think cruisers are isn't everybody's been. I've been asking what because there was this Hornet patch right on balance, and that he wanted to tweak the battleships because apparently they're really bad. But of course, in 1v1 everything is massively good. But why not cruisers? Why a
So
battleship?
what I think I picked this up from you, but when I go T2 Navy, I'll make the naval engineer 2 cruisers, and I'll just reclaim the
Yeah,
two
yeah,
admin.
that's. I think that's his correct plan. Yeah, yeah. I
Just,
definitely suggested that.
just go
There's
back into
no like it's you
destroyers.
need units in 1v1. Yeah, for sure. Uh, yeah. Wanted to call you like a T2C expert. That's
Yeah,
really
right.
interesting.
Somehow I found myself as the AC expert. And, I mean, really, no one practices this map or this matchup. Really, I think it's pretty fascinating, and it's like a part of the game, right? Like,
Yeah, you could try actually. I think there's some options maybe with the amphib. Maybe you can make like a ducks. I don't know. If your APM is really good, I think there is a certain non-zero action because if you make a bot lab, like all you need to do is have a coastal. Oh, we go for the action here. But I was suggesting that you could maybe make ducks and run through the bottom. If enemy doesn't have an amphib, it might be when like if you hit his windmills, for example, right? And all you need to do is basically have like a 2,000 metal free, yeah, and make a bot lab, make a freaker, make a T2 lab, and then make a freaker, and then
right,
spam ducks with the freaker, right? You
right,
don't lose
right,
much
right.
of the metal, you just need APM and build power essentially.
It's a good point. One thing I would like to see added is a way for T1 hovers to harass underwater mexes. I think that would really open up this map, and you'd see more hover plays being able to expand and
What
harass.
about an underwater hover? Would
Underwater
you?
hover, yeah, right.
It hovers, but underwater, right? Shout
Medulo
out to the
commenting on
gamer.
yeah, it's
Make
just
an
lightning
underwater
shit.
hovering. Ooh. Oh, that's an interesting unit. I haven't seen this. This is interesting. Is it there a flame ship as well, right? I mean, for the core, I would assume.
I think there is a T2 flame ship. Somehow this game's still going on, but the battleship has arrived. And look at the range on this thing.
Gives up a little bit of metal right now. Like as we see, like Teddy last game as well, right? Goes T2 and gives a little bit of a space immediately. Teddy has appeared to have cleared some of the mexes on the South Sea, and the sub is finally working overtime, hitting everything there on the
Yeah,
very
see,
north corner.
top left, yeah. Getting work done over here.
Yeah, I think this is doing
But
a
two
little bit.
battleships and even lightning ships showing up, so just zapping these frigates.
Yeah, not much you can do, like, and now it's getting, like, super critical. Oh, he sees that he hasn't played for so long, he doesn't even know that the lightning ship is in there. That's, yeah, I didn't either, so, uh, practice play pays off, I think. I
Yeah,
don't
right.
think. Have you made this lightning ship?
I have not, but I've played
Yeah.
probably 2 matches on Paradise Lost in the past this year, right?
Yeah, interesting that Zlo knows about this, right? For sure, curious. And yeah, Zlo's doing the great thing, expanding with their constructors, remaking land mixes. Teddy never got to really push out of this. His wind is getting blown up in by frigates, so that's not too deep either. And Teddy decides to throw in the towel, losing both games to Zlo and getting eliminated from his group. So
Getting eliminated in last place, somehow the reigning
yeah, these
champion.
these these FAF guys. I hope you don't guys dominate the game so much we start calling metal mass or something. But yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, engineers expanding. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
That was a better game than I expected. I'm really happy we watched that
Yeah.
one.
I think it was really unlucky early for Teddy to lose the cons. I think Teddy gets away with more grade. I think he's in the better positions. But, I think it really did boil down back to those Dolphins attacking. I mean, it's like, I wouldn't say maybe not a ball choice choosing arm, but, with the shurikens and all and bombers being good and, uh, people do core.
That was a great series.
Yeah, yeah,
LSR, looking forward to next weekend, man.
yeah, let's go. Gonna be hype. And yeah, maybe we could finish a couple of work now, and maybe we can do the challenge thing. Now that we've locked in the quarterfinals, I think it would be a good idea to make a challenge page and, put our players in. Maybe we can manually add them and then
Right,
run
right.
like let the players do some predictions and, then we can maybe have a extra content for we rate like to see maybe how the people have predicted and how's
Yeah.
the vibe looking and also like the engagement to gauge. So
Yeah,
yeah.
next season I want to definitely do one for the round of 16. I think that'd be fun. But for the round of 8, I mean, I've made my prediction. Vader's going all the way. He's taking it.
Sounds
3-2 over Udi in the finals. So I've called
yeah.
it a here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys made it this far, thanks. Like the video, subscribe, really helps the channel and the league grow. So thank you for that. LSR, thanks again for coming on. And
Yeah. See you guys at the tournament and thank you for having me, Barcast. Always fun.
yeah, thanks everyone. See you later.